What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Steals Forever, and I'm back back in the building. That's right, your boy Steals Forever is back in the building, hitting you guys for a quick gaming video update. And today's topic will be upgradable consoles, man. Upgradable consoles. Now, this conversation is stemming from some articles I was reading a couple days ago on the internet about basically Microsoft just throwing it out there that maybe in the future, or they had a thought of ideas of making the Xbox One upgradable. Now, by me saying that, I'm pretty sure Sony has the same idea of upgrading consoles. I can't see Microsoft upgrading their console and Sony not being somewhere, right behind them. So I think this is something that's going to be implemented very soon on both consoles, because this just makes sense. Because I'm pretty sure both companies are detected. I mean, it's 2016 first and foremost, and I think the way of the old consoles of having that long, about 6 to 7 year console lifespan is like a thing of the past. And I think they're looking to, basically take on some type of format like we do with our cell phones and iPads and things like that, to where they can look at least every maybe 3 years upgradable process. But at the same time, there have been a lot of remasters too. And I think a lot of games are doing remasters, not because I know a lot of people thinking that they're doing remasters because they don't have anything to make and it's a cash in, which is true. I think they are cashing in on some of these older games. Like they just announced that I think Dead Island will get this in definitive edition coming in a couple months for like $39.99, and you basically get Dead Island 1 and Riptide. But I think they're doing that because they're actually, designing games to a point to where on one like dev kit to where it'll go across the board. Similar to what Steam has right now. If you build a gaming PC like a year ago or 2 years ago, then if you upgrade this year, I mean, you're still gonna pretty much be able to play all the same games that you had in your library for the last 2 years. Now you may be able to play those games at higher resolution, faster frame rates and stuff like that, but still nonetheless you'll be able to play the game. And I think that's something that Microsoft and Sony will be shooting for like ASAP, because I think they realize this is ultimately the smarter way to go. Now, with that being said, I do feel like there's a price drop coming sometime maybe this summer or around the holidays, where both the PS4 and the Xbox will get a $50 price drop to where they'll both be $299. Now, this is what this is going to do. This is going to give Microsoft and Sony the room to actually almost reinvent the PS4 and the Xbox One to a more elite type of console. Something similar to, and giving credit to Microsoft, because I seen Microsoft do this first, and I was thinking that the elite console they put out around the holidays, around November and the holidays, was actually $499, and I think they was actually just testing the water. Now, even though they were just giving the elite controller and a faster hard drive, and it was a terabyte, but I think that was their way of kind of measuring to how consumers will react to, being able to spend more money with a, for better product, basically. And I think they can, I think they probably figured out that it was pretty much working. So it worked, because a lot of people went out and bought these elite systems with the controllers and things of such nature, But, with the price drop that they will be getting sometime this year, $50 price drop, I think this is going to enable them to actually come back around the same time and announce these better consoles. And it's really not that big. It's not really hard. I mean, some people may think this is like a really investment and things like that, but you got to realize, like, even if they just upgrade the hard drive, processor, and the graphics card, you're actually taking those things out. So those are things in the console that you would say. Let's say, for example, if those three things cost right now, say the graphics card, processor, and the 500 gigabyte hard drive, let's just say they cost around $100. And this is all based off wholesale pricing too now. So if they could get all 3D components around $100, $125, that means they're taking it out. They're taking that completely out. So that means they have $100 to $125 to actually play around with, because they are naturally taking those components out. So that means they could actually improve and say, like, hey, let's, instead of paying 100, let's spend 100. Let's spend 225. 225. So that's gonna get us a way better processor. That's gonna get us a way better graphics card, and that's gonna give us a terabyte hard drive that's actually faster. Make it be 20%, 30%, you know, whatever. It's just better. And then they can actually relaunch both consoles. You know, call them whatever they want to call them, the Elite or the definitive console, whatever. But they could actually release these consoles and still stay within the price range of like $399 to $499. Right, easy, man, easy. And considering that most games, I'm figuring out that most games will probably be playable. You know, your library is just going to transfer over. So anything that you have now, you will be able to play it on these elite consoles. That's what we just call them for right now, elite consoles. But you'll be able to play them. So it'd be just like similar to Steam. Like, you know, you upgrade your graphics card, your processor, or do a complete U-Haul on your whole PC. I mean, still just log back into Steam, re-download the games, and bam, there you go. You're still playing. You're just playing with better graphics, you know, higher resolution, and faster frame rates. So I really think this is something that's going to happen, man. I think this is something that's going to happen either at the end of this year, or they'll set up with the price cut this year, and this will be something definitely we'll get next year. I can definitely see next year this is definitely going to happen. I think Microsoft will probably hit on this first to try to get this out the gate. You know what I'm saying? First, because they did announce it. Sony, I think we may have to wait till next year. And the only reason I'm saying that, which I could be wrong, but the only reason why I'm saying it, because they do have the VR coming out this year, and now that is going to be a huge investment for Sony, and they really haven't given any dates or pricing on that. So I think that VR and the exclusives that they have is going to be, you know, their main focus this year. But still, I can see this coming from Microsoft this year, and this is something that Sony is going to be looking into early next year. They don't want to be too far behind on having, you know, a console out there that can actually, you know, keep up with the Xbox One at that, you know, at that point, you know, considering it's going to be the elite version of the console. But I think this is a good thing, man. I think this is a good thing because this is the way that, you know, for us guys that and girls that want to have, you know, a state-of-the-art console that can run 60 frames, you know, 1080p, not even 1080p, man, screw that. We're looking at 4K now. So, you know, there's some of us that want to have that, you know what I'm saying, 4K graphics, you know, resolution, 60 plus frames, and they're willing to pay for it. And there's some guys that, you know, may not play as much or just don't really see or want to spend that much money. But this won't, you know, negate them out the process. Either they still can go in and spend the $299 and play the exact same game, just at a lower frame rate and a lower resolution, which would be completely fine. Completely fine. So this is something I'm thinking that's really gonna, you know, be very beneficial from both sides of the fence, from you know, as far as from Sony, Microsoft, and us as the consumers. Now, the only problem I may see with this is, you know, what type of incentives are they going to give us to actually upgrade? You know, will we get $200 for our PS4s and Xbox Ones, or $250? But I'm pretty sure they'll do some type of nice trade-in special where, you know, you send back your Xbox One, we'll let you upgrade for $150 or $200 like that. And, you know, and based off the specs, like I'm saying, it's all going to be based around the specs. If the specs are right and it's really worth the jump, then, you know, I can see this being very, 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 you know, promising. Very promising. And plus the fact it'll get rid of this whole argument about games being backwards, you know, compatible. So that way everything will be backwards compatible. And I even had read too that Microsoft was actually making a lot of the games that they had announced that was, you know, if you had a disc, that it would be backwards compatible on the 360. That they was actually going to put those games in the Xbox Live Store. So now, you know, if you don't have a disc or you don't want to go find the disc, you can just go on the Xbox Live Store and buy it. So you can kind of tell they're going to that more Steam approach. And I'm pretty sure that Sony is going to be heading in that same direction, man. Same direction. You know, you guys let me know what you guys think. You know, what do you guys? Would you guys upgrade? Like, you know, if it was $400 right now, would you guys upgrade for a better graphics card, processor, and things like that? Would you guys do it? You know, if they gave you $200 for your Xbox One or PS4 that you own now, would you upgrade? Would you upgrade one? Would you upgrade both? You know, let me know how you guys feel about that, man. Because this is something coming down the pipeline, man. It's coming down the pipeline. I'm just reaching out to you guys to see what you guys think, man. Like always, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Make sure you hit that like button. That helps me gauge, you know, how you guys are feeling the videos. Like always, this is your boy Steels Forever. Later.